This episode is brought to you by Novilla Mattresses. I consider Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory to be my arch nemesis. Even though I say this, I know we have one thing in common. That is, we both have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. For Grandpa Joe, that's because he is a bad person. For me, it's because I sleep on a mattress made by Novilla, today's sponsor. Meet their Bliss Organic Memory Foam Mattress. Perfect for those who want a cool, dry, undisturbed sleep throughout the night, made with organic bamboo charcoal fiber, excellent motion isolation, cooling gel-infused memory foam that fits all bed frames and is reasonably priced between $179 and $369. Perfect for if you want an inexpensive mattress for you, your children, or even for your guest room. Like I said, I personally sleep on a Novilla mattress, and it has done wonders for me. Throw out that cheap Walmart mattress you got in college and get yourself a mattress made by Novilla. Using promo code Schweezy or the link in our description, you can save 10% on any purchase through Novilla directly. Become just like Grandpa Joe on a Novilla mattress today. Again, that's 10% off using promo code Schweezy. A reminder, when you use our links, you directly support this show. Hello, and what is going on, my fellow Schwoke Lords? What is up? Welcome to yet another best episode ever of Cancel Schweezy. Welcome to the show today, folks. Like I'm telling you, this literally is our best episode that I've literally ever made of Cancel Schweezy. I hope my dinosaur shirt, which I wanted to use for promo for an album forever ago, that a pandemic took away from me. Wanted to get like this is like the show outfit, but now it's not. That phase is over, and I hope the shirt works well on this green screen. Nothing's really green except for like the dinosaur. I guess I'm gonna like look up here for those of you watching, is a green dinosaur, which probably will interfere with the green screen. Sorry, the beautiful brick wall behind me. And so that could but it looks like it's being hidden by the microphone, so it's not necessarily a big deal. So I guess we solved a murder on that one. So yeah, I guess. So I guess thank you for clicking on my dumb fucking face. I have to listen to a podcast today. Clicking on my dumb fucking face, that works for either audio and the video only people. So welcome, friends, family around the world in this country. To the show today. Cancel Schweezy, better known as the Lord's favorite podcast. The Lord Trademark's favorite podcast. It's also the only podcast that cranks that Soulja Boy before it cranks you. So we're here. We're doing that for you. So yeah, thanks so much for checking out the episode of Cancel Schweezy today. Like I said, we got a lot of cool shit we're gonna talk about. So. Don't be stingy with all that stuff. So yeah, no, welcome to the show. Go check out my music all over Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, YouTube, Amazon, wherever you are streaming music. That's should be under Schweezy. It's like this podcast, Cancel Schweezy, but you just eliminate the cancel in front of it. You just put Schweezy. Then you just find me on your music apps. So yeah, that's cool. It's awesome. And yeah, you can go follow me on social media as well. That's under @TheSchweezy. That's on every platform. The ones I really do use, we got the Instagram, which I post mostly to. I mostly post on Instagram. I got TikTok. I do try to post daily on TikTok. We also have Twitter, which I do post occasionally, and Facebook, which I do post on. So you gotta go check me out there. Another place you can check me out, and not only check me out live. We have Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSchweezy, a great way to go check out. So it's like the Ask Schweezy portion of the show, but it's live, and so I answer your questions live. And so that's a really cool thing, and you're definitely not going to want to miss that and stuff like that. I stream every Thursdays. Last week I did Mario Maker. I may do some more Mario Maker. I may do some Fortnite. I need to figure out a Pokemon game I want to play. But that seems to be the struggle right now, folks. The struggle, if you want to know what the struggle is playing what game to play. I think I want to play Fall Guys eventually when it becomes free on my Switch or my Xbox. I still in the back of my mind, I'm like, I want to play Raid Shadow Legends for the memes, to, like, see how the memes work and stuff like that. One thing nice about Twitch, though, is if you have an Amazon Prime account, which I know probably everyone listening does have, what you can do is connect that to your Twitch account. That gives you Twitch Prime, which allows you to subscribe to one creator. Now, following anyone on Twitch, which you already have to do, you better already be following me, is free. So make sure you don't skip out on that. But what a subscribe is a financial way to help support someone. It's typically like one subscribe is $5. And so I know all the Twitch streamers are like, thanks for the sub, thanks for the sub. It's typically around $5. But with Amazon, since you already have an Amazon Prime account, you connect that to your Twitch. What you're able to do, you do have with Twitch Prime, you basically get one free subscribe a month. And with that, why not help me out free? It doesn't cost you anything. And you basically get to support me without even giving me money. You still give Jeff Bezos money, then Jeff Bezos gives me money. That's how it works. We also have our Patreon page, which is our financial way of getting supported. So thank you for all those who help there. And Patreon is a great way to say thank you for being a friend. Really help out. It's not like just like making this show happen. It's like supporting, because this is a one-man operation here. It's just basically a way to help support me and what I'm doing in life. Helps me not only with the show, helps me with music, helps me with streaming. It helps me just exist. So those are always thank yous. But there's always all this free shit you can do. For anyone on YouTube right now, which usually this is like, the majority of this part is for the listener-only audience. What you can go ahead and do is, if you're listening, obviously I'm telling you, if you're listening, go check out our YouTube page, because it's not just the podcast on there. What we also have on our YouTube page is what we have is we pull highlights and clips from the show of me talking. And so say you have a friend that you think they'll like this show, what you can go ahead and do is just send a highlight from it. It's way more interactive, and I know there's some things we do on the show that are better off as like a visual part of the show. And so, like, you can kind of go back to it later and go see, what I'm doing if I go over something from BuzzFeed or whatever. It's really cool like that. So share that, and you can share it with your friends. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, like, and give us a comment. I always like hearing what people have to say, especially when I go over very specific topics and seeing what the hell everyone's up to. So that's always cool. For you audio-only listeners, which is the majority of people who listen to this segment of the show, what you can go ahead and do is leave a review and give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating. I know it sounds like I'm asking you, it's a weird ask of people, but it really does help the show. So don't be stingy. Help us out. Do the free shit. You should be doing the free shit. If you like someone, make sure you're doing that free shit. Don't be that guy or girl or that they them or that they them. Do not be that they them. I was just reading some. Why do I read BuzzFeed articles? I don't know. Don't judge me for what I'm doing. Anyways, I was like reading some article about the unrealistic things in the Hunger Games, and one of them is like, they pick one boy and one girl from each district. What if there's a non-binary person? Where do they put in there? And I'm like, okay, look, BuzzFeed, this is a dystopian future. They're gonna go by two genders. I'm just saying, like, it's not. I mean, we're getting close to dystopian future, but I don't think the dystopian future is going to care about your fucking pronouns. I think they're going to be like, you have a vagina, you have a penis, we're going with that. Or at least if someone like transition, I don't know. I mean, it's kids though, and I don't know. Most people, they transition like they do most things when they're an adult, right? I don't know. The trans people I know transitioned as adults, so because that's like a weird topic to talk about. It's like, would you let kids take like puberty blockers or something like that? I'm like, I'm not a scientist. Don't ask me. And it's also the same with like trans athletes. It's like, Can we ask, like, doctors and athletes this, not just random people, their opinions on this? Can we ask actual professionals their opinions on this? I don't know. That's a whole can of worms. But anyways, I'm just saying, if non-binary people existed in the Hunger Games world, they would not be referred to by their pronouns. I'm just saying, stop trying to look for wokeness in dystopian fiction teen novels. That's just all I have to say. Anyways, though, that's a ramble for another episode. You know, like I'm like when people are like, that's a video, that's a lesson for another day. I'm like, that's a podcast for another day. That's what my dumbass says. Anyways, let's get into previous week right now. What is previous week right now? Most of you are asking who have never listened to this podcast, aka just found culture. Previous week right now is the news that I have seen throughout the week that I believe is the most important news going out in the world right now. And you're probably also wondering, why is it called previous week right now? Well, it's because we're going over the previous week, and we will be going over it right now. So let's just jump right into it, as our buddy Phil DeFranco would say. And when I say buddy, I mean we've never met at all. So this is from Entertainment Weekly, another weekly entertainment show. Not like this one. We're better than Entertainment Weekly. I'll say it. Tiger King star Doc Antle arrested by FBI in South Carolina. Bhagavan Doc Antle, one of the colorful personalities included in Netflix 2020 hit docuseries Tiger King, has been arrested in South Carolina. Antle, 62, is being held in the J. Reuben Long Detention Center in Horry County, South Carolina. And after the FBI arrested him Friday afternoon, no charges have been disclosed. In October 2020, Antle was indicted in Virginia on charges of wildlife trafficking and animal cruelty following a months-long Attorney General investigation into the movement of lion cubs between Virginia and South Carolina. After his memorable appearance in the first season of Tiger King, Antle was the focus of Tiger King, the Doc Antle story, which debuted on Netflix in December. It offered an inside look at Myrtle Beach Safari, Antle's private facility for big cats and endangered animals. In a summary of the series, Netflix describes Antle as a predator far more dangerous than his beloved big cats and a man shadier than any of his Tiger King counterparts. The docuseries delves into accusations that surfaced during the filming of Tiger King involving Antle's cult-like operation and his influence over the bevy of women who surround him at Myrtle Beach Safari. Whenever we went anywhere, he was on the prowl, a source says in the Tiger King, the Doc Antle story trailer. There's no greater pickup line than, "Do you want to pet a tiger?" Antle is listed in the Horry County website as having been booked into the detention center at 4:38 p.m. Eastern Time. On Friday, he remains incarcerated there. Representatives for Myrtle Beach Safari in the J. Reuben Long Detention Center did not immediately respond to EW's request for comment. Of course not. So, yeah, no, this is very weird. So, Doc Antle, I've been covering Tiger King too much in podcast, at a point where I don't even think it's, I keep talking about this shit, and I don't even think it's actually, like, helping the podcast in any way. Like, I don't think talking about this, anyone gives a shit about Tiger, any of these people anymore. So much where, like, I talked about that Peacock series a couple of weeks ago, a lot of weeks ago, I would say, and I don't think people really give a shit about these characters anymore, and we're like, they're all terrible people. The second season of Tiger King, which they had to make for some fucking reason, was awful, but I watched it, because that's how I spend, that's because advertisers pay me money to talk about this shit. So it's animal trafficking, which, it's always weird, like, animal laws are just weird in general, I would say. You're like, we just have laws about, like, how we treat animals in this country. It's just, in America. That's weird. And, if you checked out the Tiger King, the Doc Antle story, what I will tell you is this dude really likes women when they look like 12, 13 years old, which is not, like, a hot age for women to be looking. I feel, my theory is with this stuff, obviously, like, if you want to, like, an adult wants to date a 16-year-old, that's wrong. Obviously, they're just too young. Like, they just don't know any better. But, like, the idea is that, what you're attracted to, like, and stuff like that, like 16-year-old, but like sometimes a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old look similar. Like at 16, you could be done growing. So, like in your mind, though, if someone looked like that, but you found out they were like 37 and they looked 16, like, you know, what's the odd in that? Well, it's like, you know, like these weird anime shows, you know, they're like that girl is 3 years old, and like it's just like some hot anime girl or whatever, and you're like, what's the wrong situation? The fact that she's 3 years old, or the fact, you know? And it's like if you're attracted to someone who looks 13, there's a weird sign. Except Shauna Ray from I Am Shauna Ray on TLC. She can fuck whoever she wants to. That's everyone else. Anyways, though, it's weird that he's attracted to girls who look 13. Okay, straight up, this guy is weird, and I really hope he's fatter than me. That's also hope. I hope if we ever meet in public, I hope we don't meet in public. If we stood side by side, he'd be fatter than me. That's also. It's weird how he got caught for, like I said, I think that whole long fucking rant. The reason I'm saying this is that it's weird how he got in trouble for, like, animal, you know, like, what's the fucking specific term? What's the term? Animal trade, it's like, it's animal trading, right? God damn it, now I'm losing. Oh yeah, he is basically like animal trading or some bullshit like that. Animal trafficking. That's how you fucking say it. God damn it, I'm an idiot. But it's funny he didn't get anything about dating underage women. Like, maybe that's South Carolina for you folks. Maybe they're like, we don't care if you're with underage girls, but the moment you start trafficking animals, we'll get you for that. So yeah, it's very interesting they actually got him. So maybe the police, I don't know. They still didn't do anything right because they should have got him on pedophilia or like being with underage women. Anyways, let's move on. Straight up from Forbes magazine, Jared Leto contributes to Morbius meme, effectively ending the Morbius meme. That's rough, buddy. If you were wondering when the Morbius meme cycle would run its course, that time may be at hand. Jared Leto has now posted a short video of himself pretending to read a script for Morbius 2, It's Morbin Time, which has racked up millions of views since it went up. Here we learn that Morbius meme is really just centered on Dr. Michael Morbius and the ridiculousness of the character and movie. And now Jared Leto getting in on the joke just feels weird to many. And it's brought up a fresh course of Morbius memers, making it clear they do not actually like Jared Leto, the person. Frequently brought up as the video has been shared around social media are the allegations that Jared Leto has sexually harassed a number of young women over the years, including allegations that some of the women he is accused of being inappropriate towards were underage. Some of this is even from his fellow actors. What that caused Suicide, the second one, director James Gunn, to reply at the time he started at 18? Start at 18. Leto has denied many of these allegations, along with stranger ones, like when he was accused of sending used condoms to Suicide Squad co-stars. 99.9% of what people read is bullshit, Leto said at the time to EW. The other meme is the case regarding Leto himself is that the actor stained all the superhero projects he touches, whether it's his mostly disliked portrayal of the Joker in the Suicide Squad movie or Morbius, which despite the meme, is one of the worst reviewed superhero movies of this entire generation. As for the future of Morbius, that's unclear. The memeing has caused the movie to return to 1,000 screens, but the film was not a box office hit in its original run, and it seems like Sony is testing whether the jokes will actually lead to people going back to theaters to see the movie. Now that it's a running gag, that remains to be seen as the potential plans for a real Morbius 2, as Sony continues to work on its Spider-Man adjacent series of films that probably would indeed necessitate the return of Morbius and some sort of Sinister Six crossover later. I bet that was in Leto's contract, given that it's clearly Sony's long-term plan, but if all these movies fail and none of them perform like Venom, that's just not going to happen. We'll see if the meme can survive Leto's own joke and whether it will in fact continue to be Morbin time going forwards. Don't watch Morbius, people. I just think it's funny. Like, the reason for the Morbius memes is the fact that it's a bad movie. And the fact that I could just say, yeah, in the movie he says, it's Morbin time. And people would actually believe it. To be honest with you, I think Sony should have just, I don't know if they can sell. I think technically could. They could sell the rights to Morbius back, because I think the good Marvel, not Sony, the good Marvel, is wanting to make like a Midnight Suns type of project. It's like these darker heroes like Moon Knight, maybe Doctor Strange, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and Morbius would have been a good sort. But Morbius was originally in a Spider-Man comic, therefore Sony gets it, which is, Sony, just sell Spider-Man back to Marvel. Like, I know, like, I guess, was it Matt Pat had a video, like the original plan, the reason why Marvel's not really making offers to buy back Spider-Man is because I think the legality of everything is like, if Sony studios or like movie properties get sold, like they sell to like enough, like let's make a thing like, this is not a real thing, but let's say Warner Brothers, who's probably going to get bought out by Discovery probably, say Warner Brothers decides, hey, we want to buy Sony's movie catalog or whatever to own or whatever. The Spider-Man rights, they can't buy the Spider-Man rights apparently, or any of those characters. I think those immediately would go back to Marvel, and the Marvel would get it for free. I think that's the general rule behind it. It's a weird rule. So I understand people have feelings a certain way. So I think for a while, Disney was trying to like wait out Sony to see if they sell. But honestly, I think they should make an agreement. I think Kathleen Kennedy should stay on like with Spider-Man though. I think she does want what's best, and she likes Kevin Feige. So I mean, but it's like it was bold when Morbius came out. It's like, from the studio that brought you Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, I mean, like, technically that's true, but you're wrong. But anyways, though, no one watch Morbius for free, I would say, if you're going to watch it. I mean, I know this is a weird thing to say, but it's probably worth watching from someone's iPhone, like, filming it in a theater. Just an FYI. I watched, and Venom's like, okay, it's just short of not being a complete garbage movie. But I don't know, Sony, just let Marvel, I don't know, figure out a way that you just get money and let Marvel make those movies. I don't know, figure out a solution that works for both parties, because and Jared Leto wasn't bad as Morbius. That's the thing. That's the weird thing, though. And I don't, this is gonna ruffle some feathers. I don't think he was that bad as the Joker either. It was a darn take. It was just, he was the Joker after Heath Ledger, and that's what. And Ben Affleck, I think Ben Affleck was a great Batman. I don't care what you think. You can go shove it up your ass. And he was and that's why the difference between the Robert Pattinson Batman. I thought Robert Pattinson was a horrible Bruce Wayne, but I thought Ben Affleck was probably the best Bruce Wayne and stuff like that. I especially loved in the Mark Snyder Justice League. He's like, that's Alfred. I work for him. Like, that's the Batman I like. Anyways, though, is the Morbius meme dead? I mean, I don't think it had much of a life to begin with. It's Morbin time. I don't think it had much of a life to begin with. It's from BET, which stands for Black Entertainment Television. So, I bet you're assuming this is going to be about a black musical artist. Nope. Mariah Carey sued over a hit holiday song, All I Want for Christmas Is You. A lawsuit filed Friday, June 3rd, accuses Mariah Carey of copyright infringement over her hit holiday song, All I Want for Christmas Is You, which she released in 1994 as part of her Merry Christmas album. NBC News reports that songwriter Andy Stone, who filed the lawsuit, claims that he co-wrote a song with the same title 5 years before Carey's version hit record stores. Both songs have the same title but different lyrics and melodies. But Stone, who performs as Vince Vance with the country pop band Vince Vance and the Valiants, says Carey and her co-defendant failed to seek or obtain permission to use, reproduce, or distribute the song. In addition to copyright infringement, the suit alleges misappropriation and other claims against Carey, her co-writer Walter Afanasieff, and Sony Corporations of America, the complaint filed in New Orleans federal court seeking at least $2 million in damages. According to the complaint, Stone co-wrote this version in 1989 and appeared on the Billboard music charts after getting a lot of airplay in 1993. Carey's version has become a Christmas classic, topping the Billboard Hot 100 chart every year since 2019. It was her 19th number one song. Okay, so I'm just really confused with this, because in my mind, I see that if they say, okay, so in this article, it says, she said, was it Newport filed a lawsuit? Crow wrote a song with the same title 5 years ago. Both songs had the same title but different lyrics and melodies. If you know anything about copyright law, especially in regards to music, what you would know is that you can have the same title song as another song. The only thing that's really copyright is like melody and, music, anything that could be kind of considered some form of a melody into a song. So like, the guitar riff in Carry On My Wayward Son, that one's the first one that came to mind. If someone just kind of ripped that off, that's copyright infringement. But if they use the chord changes to that song, it's not necessarily copyright infringement. And so I write a song called Carry On My Wayward Son, and like it goes, I'm just a carried on my wayward son. It has different lyrics and melodies. Like, that's not a suit. And so basically how I know anything about what I know about how this shit works is that you have to have, a lawyer's not going to create, the lawsuit. The lawsuit's not going to exist unless you really have proof, unless there's claim. So figured out that he has a song All I Want for Christmas, and then Mariah Carey stole it, and he had proof that, I wrote the song in 1989, and it sounds just like my song, and I'm like, here's all the proof. And the lawyer would be like, yep, that's a case. I don't see why a lawyer's like, we have a case here. And like, it's just like the number one most knowledgeable thing about copyright laws is that copyright doesn't like refer to titles of songs. That's why there's a million songs called Hold On. Like, just look at it. There's a million songs just called Hold On. And it's weird. And I don't get this lawsuit. I don't get why someone would wait. It's been 1994 was 28 years ago. And then 1989 was 33 years ago. Why would someone would be waiting more than 28 years to be filing a lawsuit from a song like that old? I don't think this makes sense. I don't get how this is a lawsuit, and this is going to be thrown out really fast. I'm telling you, folks, if you want to follow this, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be thrown out really fast because like they don't like no court's going to be like, okay, the songs are different, they just have the same title, and then you look at the law and it's like it does not matter at all, and that's how this lawsuit's going to end. I promise you all that. That's how it's going to end. Our last article for previous week right now, I always like to end these on positive notes, and this one is the same, positive. Man who owed $4.80 for book gets high school diploma 6 decades later. For 6 years, Ted Sams regretted missing his high school graduation. Now 78, Sams can finally call himself a graduate after donning a cap and gown and receiving his diploma Friday with the class of 2022 at Southern California's San Gabriel High School. Back in 1962, when he was a high school senior, Sams got in trouble and was suspended 5 days before the end of the school year. He said he missed a crucial final exam and had to make it up over the summer. When I went back with my grade, they wouldn't give me my diploma because I owed $4.80 for a book, Sam told KABC TV, and so I just walked away and said, forget it. The school still had Sam's original diploma locked away in an old filing cabinet. He beamed as he walked across the graduation stage at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena and received his diploma. Over the years, I complained to my kids a number of times about how $4.80 kept me from having my diploma, he said. Sam said he plans on hanging the diploma on the wall at his home. So, here's one thing I want to know about this. So, I think my school did this or something like that. They wouldn't give you a report card or whatever. Or there's something similar to this my old high school. The question I have, though, so, like, if you graduate and you, so say you graduate and then you have, like, this debt due to the school when they hold your diploma, like, can you still go to college? Is that still a thing? Are you still allowed to do that? Like, are you technically a high school graduate at that point? Like, you're like, well, I would have graduated high school, but I owe the school $4.80, and so I haven't graduated high school at all. And also, let's pull out the iPad here. How much was $4.80 in 60 years ago? There's no calculator on this. I'm on a fucking iPad. Let's see. 2022 minus 60. That is 1962. Okay. $4.80 in 1962. Oh, so that's like $45.95. So, I mean, I'm trying to think about this. I think I had to pay more money than that for, like, shit for my college degree. So basically this dude paid basically rounded up. Let's round it up, $46. So $46 in, so basically this dude owed his school $46 for a book. How did you get, well, maybe books were, maybe they haven't, I don't know what the inflation on that is. I'm like thinking, in 2022, if you owe the school $5 and you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to graduate. Or some bullshit like that. You're like, what? But I guess $46 is a little bit different, but also, like, I don't know. Like, back in the 60s, though, you could, like, support yourself working at McDonald's and going to college at the same time. Like, pretty sure they could afford that. So, that's also another problem. I think the dollar amount is too little to be like, fuck it, I guess I'm not a high school graduate. These fucking boomers. I tell you what, these fucking boomers. You all know that I'm built different, but I bet you are coming to me to learn how to be built different as well. The only way to be built different is to get yourself some supplements from today's sponsor, FNX Fitness. FNX Fitness is committed to creating innovative supplements of the highest quality that provide focus for a productive morning, energy to thrive all day, performance supplements to reach new goals, unique sleep and recovery formulas to support any sport, and healthy supplements to support an active lifestyle for years to come. I also really enjoy their clothing line that makes you look good while working out as well. Another thing I love about FNX Fitness is that with every purchase, they donate a gallon of water to a child in need. Start working out smarter, not harder. By using the link in our description today, you can save 15% on your purchase. So go save 15% on some of the best supplements out there when using the link in our description. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. When an enemy shoots at you, you pull out your Captain America shield. When Doc Ock attacks you on a bridge, you control the nanobots from your Iron Spider suit to control his arms. So why are you allowing all these websites to store your credit card information? The solution to that is today's sponsor, Privacy. Privacy is the first payment product that keeps your personal information private while being even more convenient than using a physical payment card online. Privacy empowers you to protect your physical card information. Each merchant you share your card information with puts you more at risk to hackers or data breaches. Why not use a privacy card instead? By creating a virtual card with privacy for each merchant you shop with, your physical card is safe and secure. Privacy cards can be paused or closed at any time, preventing any future transactions from being authorized. Privacy cards can also be single-use, meaning they close after just one authorized transaction. One of my favorite ways to use privacy is for any service with a free trial that requires a credit card to sign up. But wait, there's more. By using our link in the description, you can get $5 to spend anywhere. That's money that you get to use. So start paying the smart way with Privacy. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. They say that a hero can save us. I'm not going to stand here and wait, as the great band Nickelback once said. But not only is Nickelback, singing about Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, you know, he was also talking about me. Yes, folks. Some of you may are going to hear this for the first time, but I recently became a hero to a bird. Now, I know a lot of you know that I've had a past with another bird in my life that died, and I wasn't going to let another bird die. At least I wasn't going to kill it. So the story today is going to be about how I saved a bird that was trapped inside of a basement well window area. Those of you who don't know what a basement well window is, I finally learned what the term is, but it's that like area. So if you're in like a basement, there's basically, and you see there's a window in the basement. It's kind of like this well type area. It's like a little down underground thing that like I guess water gets stuff gets into, yada yada yada. And so yeah, that's what that's called. I know a lot of you probably didn't know what that was called. But now you do. And who says you can't learn things on Cancel Schweezy? No one has ever said that, ever. So here's the story. It was Saturday morning, around that time. I hear this bird chirping nonstop. I'm like, well, this is great. I look in the window in my room because I'm helping my mom out. So the room I'm staying in is in the basement. Which I like, though. It's a lot cooler in the basement, and cooler isn't like me. I'm cool, but also I sweat like a fucking pig, and right now I am too. I don't know if the vents are blocked up. I don't know. Maybe the shirt is just not breathable. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I saw a bird, and it was just like chirping just nonstop. And I look at the window, and I see it there, and I'm like, oh, it's a bird. So like, eventually it's gonna fly away. So I go back to my work, and I just go back to working. It's still there for the rest of the day. And by the time kind of like night goes around, like we're like, okay, we gotta get rid of this bird because it's gonna really become a problem soon. So it was like dark out. So like I take my flashlight and basically also too, this is a wild animal. And those of you who didn't know, my dad died. We need to make a drinking game for Cancel Schweezy where if I bring up my dad dying, then you have to take a drink. But he died of prions, which I think one of the things you can get prions from is from just like wild animals who have the disease. You may have to Google prions. I'm not here to teach you about folded proteins in the brain. And so I'm always just like, I'm hesitant to be touching and getting germs from wild animals now. And so I'm like trying to figure out how to get this thing out without having to touch it at all because something's going on with this bird because it was one of those, it's like this pole that you use to change light bulbs that are really high up into like a ceiling where you can't just like reach without like a ladder, that way you don't have to pull out a ladder to change a light bulb. One of those things. And so like what I would do is like I shine my flashlight into this well and then I gently like poke the bird and the bird would like run around down there, but it wasn't flying out. That's the weird thing. Like, usually these things would just like fly away and stuff like that. And so I'm like, after like maybe like a half an hour trying, I'm like, it actually stopped chirping. So I was assuming it was like, maybe it was sleeping. I have no clue. I couldn't see it anymore. It's pretty brown. I guess I'll show a picture of it right here. This is the bird that was in the window. I took a picture of it because I thought it'd be fun to document the adventure. This was before it started to annoy the shit out of me. And so yeah, it's that's the bird, and so after I was like poking it, and it just wasn't flying, and so eventually I just gave up for the night, and it wasn't making noise, so I was like, well, at least I'll be able to sleep, and I'm a pretty heavy sleeper already, so it's not that big of a deal. And so then we get to the next day, and it's like it's still there, and I'm like, I have to get this bird out. So I came up with the coolest plan. I took a milk crate and a couple bungee cords. What I did was I created it so like basically the milk crate was on like a rope. Think of the bungee cords as a rope. And I kind of like tilted it down so like the opening was on the side, like on the side, so the bird could like easily just walk in because apparently he's having trouble flying. So basically I got that down, and I eventually tricked it with the big pole I had to get in there, and eventually I got it, and I lifted it up and let it out, and the bird went away. It wasn't moving very much, though. Like, it moved, like, it made it to our neighbor's yard. So my parents have a pretty long yard, so I was able to, get it to there. And so I saved a bird. I didn't kill the bird. So I just wanted to clarify, I didn't kill the bird. Got into the milk crate, and then it was set free, and it was out alive. And it was alive, walking around. I saw it hanging out under a tree. It doesn't look like it's moving too much. So we think the bird was injured or sick or something like that. And then a couple hours passed, and we saw the bird dead under the tree of our neighbor's tree. So we don't have to get rid of it. Some animal is probably going to pick it up. But anyways, that bird is dead. So F in the chat for that bird. I've been saying F in the chat for a lot of minor inconveniences. But yeah, I think rest in peace to that bird. I had a goal in mind. I was like, I'm not going to kill this bird. And I didn't kill the bird. It killed itself. Let's keep that in mind. This bird killed itself, and we're gonna live with that fact that this bird killed itself. So don't at me at TheSchweezy anywhere. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about, I want to move into our segment, which is kind of new, but we've kind of done this on the show before. A segment I like to call Christian Cringe, where I see what the Christians are up to as a former Christian myself, and I see what's going on in that world and how much it's making me cringe, realizing not only that people are doing this, it's the fact that I probably would have done this too if I was still there. More or less, I am cringing at myself. And anyways, I found an article on Relevant Magazine. Relevant Magazine is the hip Christian magazine and website with blogs. Last time I think I went over them, they talked about 4 things the church gets wrong about sex. I'm like, Christians get a lot more than 4 fucking things wrong about sex. And talk about gold star Christians who don't have sex till marriage. You know the drill. Anyways, though, I thought it was funny. I found this article for today's segment of Christian Cringe, and I want to go on. It's weird reading articles in the second portion of this show, but I think this is one we should read, gang. Let's read this one for Christian Cringe. Francis Chan on the problem with My Body, My Choice. So I obviously know. No, first of all, Francis Chan, a couple years back, signed a thing called the Nashville Statement, which was super against gay people. I'm like, it's just super homophobic. I'm like, okay. No respect for this guy at all. I had some friends who kind of liked him, and he's just, I don't know. I get annoyed. I'm really at a point here where I really truly believe that one thing I have to say though is if Christians are talking politics or pastors are talking politics at their church, that church should start paying taxes. That's 100% a belief system of mine. That churches should start paying taxes if they decide they want to talk about politics. Then I think if they want to talk about, they pay taxes, and they can talk about politics all they want. So I do think that's fair at that point, but I don't think they should be tax exempt when they're trying to persuade people to get into politics and stuff like that. I think it's okay for politicians to have religion and stuff like that, but I don't think churches themselves need to be endorsing that. I think maybe members of churches can endorse it, not in church services, but in their private life. I think it's okay. Obviously there's you gotta walk on eggshells, unlike my song on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. But anyways, though, Francis Chan, extremely homophobic person. Good chance he's probably bisexual. At least, at minimum, he's bisexual. Could be a little pansexual too, folks. We don't know this. So Francis Chan on the problem with My Body, My Choice. My body, my choice gets thrown around a lot in contemporary politics. The pro-choice movement coined the phrase as a rallying cry for abortion rights, but over the last few years, it's been appropriated by vaccine skeptics disinterested in CDC-approved vaccines. Now, according to Christian Post, Francis Chan is saying the phrase needs to go. For any of us who thinks that we can come into the presence of God and say, God, why did you make me this way? Why did I go through this? This is my body, my choice. God says, no, wait a second. No, nothing is yours. I spoke this world into existence, Chan said while preaching at The Send in Kansas City, Missouri. The world is the Lord's and everything in it. It's all made by him. He doesn't owe me an explanation. Do you tremble at the word of God? Do you tremble? Chan asked, citing Isaiah 66:2. Because if you want God to choose you and see you, you need to tremble at his word. Do you tremble at James 4:6, where it says, God opposes the proud? If there's ever a verse to tremble at, that might be it. Politics will continue to be contentious and polarizing, and many of the debates are worth having. But how we argue is important, and when it comes to my body, my choice, Chan's advice is sound. And so, as we go through that, that's the end of the article. They barely wrote anything. I really want to let's just get into this. First, they're like the CDC approved vaccines, my body, my choice. Now that it's coming to abortion, apparently this doesn't yet. So it's this idea. So he's basically giving a very pro-life, which I'm not saying is like political at all. He's saying that choice needs to go, my body, my choice, because it's God's body, God's choice. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think God made me eat an entire pizza the other day. I don't think that was God's body, God's choice. And stuff like that. And, it's one thing to have your beliefs, but, he's preaching as if this is what everyone has to deal with. Like, this is everyone's problem. Like, yeah, this is God's body. I'm like, I don't believe in God. I'm like, well, he exists. And then you're like, can you prove him? No. And yeah, we go back and forth there. And he's in Kansas City, Missouri. He's not based there now, is he? Let's Francis Chan. We're looking at him. Francis Chan, American Protestant author, cool teacher and preacher. Cool. He has a Chinese symbol too. Do you think the Chinese think he's like the worst of all of them? Even go at Simi Valley. Oh, he's in California. Cool. He also founded a college. 2017. Lisa Chan's his wife. Okay. So yeah. I just like this. Do you tremble at the word of God? No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Francis Chan. I do not tremble at the word of God. I tremble at the word of the CDC, who tells me to get their vaccines. That's who I tremble. That's who makes me tremble. You're making God out to be like this scary figure, and it depends on how you view the Bible. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to kill millions of people with a flood. But also, I love you. Okay. Hey, you need to fix your theology, Francis Chan. I think you're out of your goddamn mind. Why were you in Kansas City? Why did you go to Missouri? No one wants to be in Missouri. Why'd you go? This is my body, my choice. Why did I go through this, God? That's a good question to ask God. Like, hey, God, why is my life shit? Is it my own actions, or is it you? It probably a mix of both. Let's be honest. This is my body, my choice. No, wait a second. Nothing is yours. I spoke this world into existence, so your body is mine. Like, I didn't realize God had fucking property of God on your fucking foot. Did you write God like Andy wrote on Woody's foot? I don't think so. I don't think that's how this shit works, Francis Chan. If that was the case, God would not have given us free will. Let's be honest there. Let's be honest, Channy boy. Do you tremble at the word of God? Nope, not at all. God loves us so much, he sent his son to die for us. But he wants us to be scared of him. He's like Michael Scott is the best example. I want them to be scared of how much they love me. Like, cool God. Anyways, though, I think me and Francis Chan believe in different gods. Because if you want to choose you and see you, you need to tremble at his word. Tremble at James. Do you tremble at James 4:6? No. God opposes the proud. if there ever was a verse to tremble at, it might be it. I'm like, first of all, the proudest fucking smug face I'm looking at right now in this Relevant magazine article of Francis Chan looks pretty fucking proud of his little empire he's built, taking money from innocent people just to live a pretty fancy life, being a celebrity pastor. This guy is. Overall, what are my thoughts on my body, my choice? It's your body, your choice. Unless I'll say this, unless on your foot you have God written on it, like Andy wrote Andy on Woody from Toy Story's foot, then it's your body, your choice. Unless God's name is written on your foot, like in Toy Story, then I think it's your body and your choice. And ladies, do whatever the fuck you want with your bodies. I will try to respect that, and I will respect that. That's also the case as well. I will respect your bodies, because I'm trying not to be a dick. I'm only a dick to Christians in Francis Chan. I'll be a dick to Francis Chan. I don't give a fuck. But also, I wanted to end it with what I'm reading here. I will pull up the screenshot. I'll try to make sure it fits on the screen well. There's a comment section in Relevant magazine articles, and here's the one comment. There's only one comment on this article. Let me read it for everyone. From Lisa Sandra. Sandra is a weird last name, let's just be honest. I get paid over $190 per hour working from home with 2 kids at home. I never thought I'd be able to do it, but my best friend earns $10K a month doing this, and she convinced me to try. The potential with this is endless. Here's what I've been doing. Smiley face emoji, and good luck. Another smiley face. That's all in capital. Here, and it's kind of like a equal sign and an arrow. www.salarybear.com, and then a little raindrop at the end of it. And then under that it says, please remove the little raindrop when copy URL. So the real audience of Relevant magazine and these Christians are scammers. And so the scammers have no bounds. They'll be on Relevant magazine articles, and somehow these are Facebook comments because I see my profile picture here. Anyways, though, that's it for our segment on Christian cringe. Okay, so I liked doing it last week, and I think I'm returning this week to do it as well. We are doing another segment of Smash or Pass. Now, last week we did Disney Men, or Disney Princes as some people will call it. This week, we're going to switch it up a little. Let's play a questionable game of Smash or Pass with Nickelodeon characters. So last week we did Disney. Now we're doing their big competitor, at least on the TV space. Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. Yeah. All right, so let's play Smash or Pass. Another wonderful game of Smash or Pass. I know, for those of you on audio only, I'm going to try to describe everything. But if you want to see what I'm looking at on this BuzzFeed article, highlight is up now, where you can watch the full episode. That's up to you. All right, first up we have Patchy the Pirate from SpongeBob. Jesus, okay. See, here's the thing with Patchy. It's clearly like a guy. Okay, there's a hole in the mouth of like a painting, and you're just seeing the mouth. So this is some glory hole shenanigans if I've ever seen one in my entire life. So the thing with Patchy is there's a guy on the other side that we don't know. And don't you kind of wish, have you ever stumbled across a porn video of glory holes and stuff like that, and you think it's a hot girl on the other side? You think it's a good idea. In real life, it's never a hot girl on the other side. It's always a guy. And if you stuck your dick inside a glory hole where a woman was actually on the other side, she's not going to put her mouth on it. Let's just be real, fellas. And Patchy the Pirate just seems like I'm dating a glory hole. And, like, you also don't get to enjoy being with a hot chick. It's, like, if that's the case, like, I don't know. A lot of problems here. We're going with pass on Patchy the Pirate. I'm sorry, folks, who are thoughts for Patchy or simping for Patchy or passing here. Like 78% of people are passing there. All right, next up, we got Lulu Pickles from Rugrats, smash or pass. It's like that granny thing. So here's the thing, though. You know, you're like, I talk about the love of MILFs, why MILFs are great. But we're talking about GILFs, grandmas I'd like to fuck. That's a complicated situation. I think we're not talking about, let's just be honest here. When we play Smash or Pass, we're not talking about love. We're not talking about, the three feelings of Ariana Grande. One taught me love, one taught me patience, one taught me pain, and that's so amazing. We're just talking about sex here, folks. We're talking about would you bang them? Last one was Patchy the Pirate, and Patchy, it's just a glory hole with extra steps. Let's be, yeah, I mean, that's right. I'm not wrong there, right? It's glory holes with, why am I looking at it as if someone else is in the room with me? It's a glory hole with extra steps. So I'm out with Patchy. Lulu Pickles, though? You know what? Smash. All right. What, 86% of people pass? Lulu Pickles has got to be freaky in bed. Let's be honest. Lulu Pickles, absolute animal in the bedroom. Mick Swagger from Loud House. Okay, I have not watched Loud House. That's what the kids are watching these days. Smash or Pass, Mick Swagger. So, clearly a Mick Jagger. It's a Mick Jagger, like, parody kind of thing here. It's unfortunate. I don't know who Mick Swagger is, so I have to go off looks. And it looks like Mick Jagger. And for those of you who've never listened to the show, we talk a lot about weird musicians. One mainly is Garth Brooks. The other is Mick Jagger. The difference is Mick Jagger doesn't post creepy, weird shit to social media, but Garth Brooks does. And also, Garth Brooks, did you kill my father? If so, give us an alibi of where you were between April 15th, 1958 to April 14th, 2022. Just give us an alibi, Garth. You're a suspect, but if you have your alibi, we'll let you off. I'm just telling you, we all miss my dad. So we just need the alibi, Garth. We just need your alibi. Anyways, though, with Mick Swagger. They really name a character Mick Swagger? Like, what kind of society are we living in? There's naming characters Mick Swagger. We kick them to the curb unless they look like Mick Swagger. I'm giving him a pass on his name alone. I don't want to fucking have sex with someone whose last name is Swagger. Let's just be real here. I don't want to fucking bang someone whose last name is Swagger. I don't care if she looks like... Okay, she looked like Brie Larson. That's the exception. Brie Larson or like Madeline Petch. I don't even like Riverdale. I think she's hot. So we're going with pass on Mick Swagger. A lot of people passed on him too. Okay. All right, next up we got Mrs. Puff from SpongeBob. Okay. I think we've gone into our first complicated one. Because, let's look at the episode where Mr. Krabs was trying to fuck Mrs. Puff. Like, we don't know they were trying to fuck. Like, I know it's a kid's show. We're talking about sex. I mean, we're not talking about this or this. We're talking about this. I can't remember what shape it was. But anyways, though, we remember SpongeBob. We remember the episode. Mr. Krabs, like, SpongeBob, take a hold of my wallet, and then Mr. Krabs guilted SpongeBob into buying her things, and then got mad that he bought her this shit. Like, is her pussy that good? Drake said, "Is this sex so good? I shouldn't have to fuck for free." Is that Mrs. Puff? Is that Mrs. Puff's? Does she have the magic pussy? I know some girls do. Like, you kind of can guess the girls who have the magic pussy, but does Mrs. Puff have that? It's hard for me because I'm not attracted to cartoons. I I tried when I was a kid. I couldn't get into it. I mean, like, there's the ones you do. Like, you know, there's the ones you, like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I think this is what I'm attracted to. That's why I like redheads, Kim Possible. But, especially with the animals, I couldn't get into that shit. Everyone's like, Lola Rabbit was my sexual awakening. I'm like, mine was Kim Possible. I'm more normal than I guess I'm more normal than most people think. But Mrs. Puff here, you know, I'm going with the magic. I'm saying she has the magic pussy. You know, let's hit smash. 19% of people want to smash Mrs. Puff. Only 19 people. Come on, guys. It's not like fucking marriage and like 5 kids. It's just fucking get out, porking, you know? Okay, Ray from Rocket Power. So Ray is one of the green hat, not Tito. Tito's the kind of guy. Tito's the kind of guy who would be like, he would figure out like what problems you have to say you have to be like, get a prostate exam. And he'd go to the doctor for that and be like, oh, I don't have a problem with my prostate. Well, thanks for sticking your finger in there. That's the kind of guy Tito is. So he'd obviously be a pass. But Ray from Rocket Power, he was like, you know, no one in Rocket Power looked hot. Like, that animation style, like, they did not make anyone look hot. Like, even as a kid, I was like, is Reggie hot? And you're like, no, not really. Like, she's just, I mean, if they would have drawn her in a different animation style, she'd probably be awakening a lot of little kids, my generation. But no, she looked weird like everyone else here. We're going with pass on Ray. Tito is 100% a pass. They better not put Tito on this fucking list. Pass. Everyone's passing on this shit. That's weird. Oh my god. Harold from SpongeBob. Jesus. Why? How? Who BuzzFeed is making these lists are like, you know who we should have had? Fucking SpongeBob's old ass dad, like a dirty brown sponge. You're like, who wants to fuck this guy? Who's wanting to fuck this guy? No one's wanting to fuck this guy. He's holding fish food in the photo for those of you listening at home. Harold from SpongeBob, aka SpongeBob's dad, is definitely getting a pass. Do not be larger. 86%. Okay, I'm a normal human. Okay, here we go. Finally, we get to some hot MILF action. Mrs. Turner, aka Mom from the Fairly Odd Parents. Like, we're smashing. Tammy's mom. Tammy had a hot fucking mom. Like, it's not... The moms from these shows, these animators knew what they were doing. Like, the new Pokemon games, the professors are hot now, both of them. Like, they have 2 professors, and they're both hot. Pokemon knows what they're doing. Animators know what they're doing. Like, don't make a goddamn TV show. Like, don't make a cartoon unless you're gonna make the mom hot. That's the idea that we all want to know. Like, we all know don't make an animated show unless the mom's gonna be hot. This is what the audience wants. Men and women want that, and the they thems. We all can agree. All shows should have the hot mom. That's just agreeable. Anyway, so obviously smash. There we go. Someone's finally smashing here. Plankton from SpongeBob? What the fuck is this list? Like, it's pass. Like, the answer is pass. Like, what are they gonna crawl around a girl's clit? It's pass. He's evil too. His wife is a robot. Cosmo Wanda from the Fairly Odd Parents. Okay, so now we're getting into thruple poly shit. Okay, BuzzFeed. God damn. Though, I could always use 2 more friends. So, I mean, Wanda I'd smash Wanda. Probably not Cosmo. No, maybe. All right, we're going to smash. 52% smash. Okay. I see what you're doing there. See what you're doing, people out there. Bubble Bass from SpongeBob, the guy who had pickles under his tongue. No, we're not going to fuck him. God damn. Dude, his body looks greasy. Like, that was like what neckbeards were before neckbeards were invented. That was like before Magic the Gathering existed. Like this guy just exists. That was like Star Trek before that, and they always have these debates on Star Trek. And like no one gives a shit. So that's a pass. God damn, no love for Bubble Bass. That's for sure. 94% have passed on Bubble Bass. Okay, Brittany from the Fairly Odd Parents, definitely a parody of Britney Spears. Let's be honest here. Brittany from the Fairly Odd Parents. We're all smashing that. This is going to be 100%. I'm telling you right here. Smash. 18% are like, nah, I'm not into Brittany. That's out. I'm out. Now, her thighs are too... It's like those like really ugly guys are like, nah, I don't really like her. Her legs are too big. But they come up with like bullshit like that. I'm like, what? You're not going to smash her because of that? I'm just like, and you're single and you're like 300 pounds? Patrick Star from SpongeBob. Okay. I hate this. But I'm gonna hit smash. Feel like Patrick's up for some kinky shit. Only 20% of people went Patrick? Sandy Cheeks. See, Sandy has a lot of energy, which means you don't have to do a lot of work. So we're going with smash there too. Jimmy Neutron's mom. How many did Sandy have? 44% smash, 56% pass. Okay, that's weird. Judy Neutron from Jimmy Neutron. Okay. As Carl Weezer once said, Jimmy's mom. Hi, Jimmy. Your mom home? Can I put my balls in your jaws? This video they're called Carl Weezer sings balls in your jaws, and he sings it to Jimmy's mom. Jimmy's mom's hot. We're going full Carl Weezer here. We're smashing. Only 45% want to smash. Are you serious? All right. Ember from Danny Phantom. Okay, we got the goth chicks here. We are clearly smashing the goth chicks. No debating that or mass debating that. Okay, what's the results? You're like, everyone wants to fucking smash the goth chick. Only 73%. Why are all the asexual people taking these quizzes? If you're asexual, you're not allowed to play Smash or Pass. That's the rule. That's my rule. You're asexual, you're not allowed to play Smash or Pass. Finally, Nigel Thornberry. We got to the last one. Look. Nigel has that dorky attitude. He's a dork. Sometimes the dorks are the real kings, fellas. The boys, and boys is gender neutral, as we all discussed. Boys, we're smashing Nigel Thornberry. Remember that meme? That was a good meme. I miss that meme. Let's bring that meme back. I know the reason why I'm in love with redheads, Nigel Thornberry, 100%. Anyways, though, yeah, we're smashing Nigel Thornberry. This is the only one that needs to be 100%. 85% of people are picking pass. I'm only 15 are saying smash. You're telling me right now you're not going to smash Nigel Thornberry. Anyways, though, we've learned a lot today on Smash or Pass Nickelodeon. That these BuzzFeed Smash or Pass quiz writers are out of their goddamn minds if they think I want to fuck Bubble Bass. Let's just be clear. Anything can be delivered to you these days. Beds, bananas, bricks, and even boxes of beans. But what about alcohol? Yes, even alcohol can be delivered to you thanks to today's sponsor, Drizly. Drizly gets all your favorite beer, seltzer, wine, whiskey, and much more delivered directly to your home. With their easy-to-use mobile app, we are getting one step closer to never leaving our homes. You know it's saying something when it is being praised as the Amazon for liquor. Drizly is my go-to app for getting all the booze I need so I can do other things. So using our link in the description today, you can save $5 off your first purchase through Drizly. Drizly has proprietary ID verification technology that it provides to its retail partners that allow drivers to scan IDs for more than a barcode to make sure the purchaser is over 21 years old in the US and of legal drinking age in Canada. Retailers on Drizly may have a minimum order or delivery fee, so using our link in the description, get $5 off your first order with Drizly. And remember, when you use our links, you directly support this show. All right, so it's time for Ask Schweezy, the part of the show where I get sent questions and I answer them. Why did I say y'all? I answer the questions. You are just here for the ride. Anyways, though, I don't think I have anything else I want to say here. Let's just get right into it. Let's just jump right into it. All right, let's get to our first question. Jesus Christ. Why do I always start these off with like the worst question I've ever seen in my entire fucking life? For real. I don't know what's wrong with me. First question we got. Do you finish watching a porn video after coming? This is a one-man operation. Why did I decide to choose this? Jesus Christ. All right, I guess I got to be honest here. The answer is sometimes. It's for new videos, at least. I keep you keep your bank of some videos that you really enjoy. You gotta find. There's some videos that just like get you better than other videos. You realize that's the way it is. Yeah, dude, if I finish kind of like where I'm in, like, it's like the middle of it, I kind of just go to the end. I want to see, because where's the guy gonna come? That's always that's a question for every porn, where's he gonna come? Because it's all unwrapped shit. So, like, you gotta be like, where will they come? And because what are the options? The face, the mouth where she'll swallow, her tits, inside her, or on her back. Now, the back or in the tits, when come of those, it's like, I mean, that's becoming like a normal thing, right? Isn't that like what most normal people? I've only really been doing condom shit, so porn's not like I came and saw the condom. How fun! It's not how porn works, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who've never seen a porn before, so it's there, and you're always kind of wondering like where's it gonna happen at? And so I am curious about that. One of my favorite tropes is when like the dude's finishing him off in her mouth, and then he comes. It's like, oh, I can't believe you came in my mouth. And they're like, I'm sorry. That's always a funny scenario to me. Inside her is always a weird one. Because it's like, I can't believe you came in. Because, like, at that point, you came inside me. What the heck? And, sometimes like that. Sometimes they're okay with it. And usually if they're okay with it, either they're on birth control that works for them, or they're getting an extra $50 for the shoot to buy Plan B. Those are the two situations on that. And then sometimes, and so most of the endings are like, oh, we got to do this more often, stepson. Like, those are most of them. But yeah, can't believe I answered that. But yeah, I guess the answer is, yeah, I like to see how everything finishes. That's a me thing, though. But I go to like the very end. Like because porn is set up in a structure where it's like, okay, there's an opening plot to get to the situation where you're at. And then the sex happens. And then the guy finishes. And that's where everything ends. And, I just kind of want to see what happens after that. Because like you already ended the first part of the story. Like that. Except for that porn where it's like couples with no faces. Like, that's just fucking weird. I guess that's for like married couple. You're like, we're looking at porn, but like you're not attracted to her. That has to be for married. Am I right about that? Someone needs to tell me that, because I've been single for a very long time. I guess I haven't been dating anyone seriously. That porn with like the no faces, that's for couples. Like, that has to be right. Please leave a comment. Someone leave a comment. You can message me on Instagram. at TheSchweezy. DM me on Instagram. I'm really curious, like, for the couples who watch porn, like, what is the porn? Because most porn I watch is, like, guy with who you don't know the face of and a chick who you do get to see her face. That's the stuff I watch. Normal stuff. Anyways, though, I hope that answer is conclusive enough for the everyone here, because I want to move on. Why do I cry while masturbating? God fucking damn it. What do I think of when I prepare these fucking episodes? It's been happening for a few months now, but I always cry when I masturbate. But the thing is, I don't feel any kind of emotion. I just noticed that I shed a few tears while masturbating without feeling emotional. Is this normal? First of all, so no, it's not normal. I'm just going to tell you, it's not normal. That is not a normal thing that should be happening to anyone. I'm just being honest with you. That is not a normal thing that should be happening. When you jerk off, you shouldn't be crying. When orgasms are happening, no one should be crying. Like, you know how, I think I've said this in the past. This may have been, like, older Cancel Schweezy episodes, but I want to say, when a woman cries, just, there's no sex. No sex is going to happen. And if you're the kind of guy who still tries to pursue sex after a girl starts crying, you're a terrible person. Anyways, though, we don't got a gender here. So I'm gonna make an educated guess that this is a woman, or someone who a vagina having woman. Let's be real. Because this has to be a vagina. Guys don't fucking cry when they jerk off. They're like, oh, I can finally fall asleep. This is usually, it has to be a woman with a vagina. I would say vagina havers, but it could apply to all vagina havers. I've learned to just not. I learned on this show, I give relationship advice and life advice. None of it's good, but I've just learned. I'm just gonna say penis havers and vagina havers. I feel like that's the easiest way to not poorly gender someone. Just that's the easy thing. What I think there is actually is, because there's lots of science behind it, because I don't think this works for guys, but for women, I'm assuming you're a vagina haver. I'm going to assume you're a woman too, but vagina haver to be safe. For women, I think orgasm. I think they say, I know for men that if you have like a stuffy nose, that you should jerk off, because somehow like when you finish, like there's like endorphins and shit like that, and chemicals and blood goes to different places, yada yada yada, and helps like clear your sinuses. I heard for women that if you have a pretty bad headache, that like masturbating and orgasming like will help with the headache. So it is really funny for like my friends who are women. They're like, I have a really bad headache. I'm like, you should masturbate. I'm just like, you should masturbate. Cause I'm like, I mean, like if you have a headache and like Tylenol is not working, like masturbating's, just see what happens. Like women are so much like so more stingy to like flicking the bean. If like a man has a bad headache and someone's like, I heard jerking off could fix it, and the guy's like, well, I'll try anything. Like the guy will just like automatically try. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. Well, the woman would be like, no, like because like women are told like masturbation's gross, and girls who masturbate are cool because it's nice to like just have a woman who knows what she wants, and that way you can just like she'll know what you want, and then like you can just figure that shit out from there. Anyways, though, so yeah, well, like I was saying, like when you have like endorphins and blood going to certain places, and stuff like that, I think it's just probably water work coming out of your eyes or something like that, not like an emotional thing. The way you pose the question would make everyone think that way. Yeah, you don't have to. It's like I'm gonna assume it's similar to me, like drinking like coffee or wine or beer or something like that. Like I drink it and I make a face as if I really don't like it. I'm like, like that if you're watching. But like they're like, did you not like that? I'm like, no, I liked it. I just make that face like when I drink things that like I like bittersweet sour things, you know, and I'm just automatically gonna make that face. So I'm like just not gonna like argue it. I just let it happen and be like, no, I liked it. It just happens. So like it is what that's the way it is. So all right. Next question. Pretty much, I found out my mom has an OnlyFans. What do I do? Whew, that's rough, buddy. I wish I had the soundboard working. There's some technical difficulties I have to figure out with the soundboard. Your mom has an OnlyFans. And I'm assuming you're old enough that you at least have a device where you can message me on. So here's it's a weird thing. And it's weird, being now, like, you know, social media, I'm just, like, curious of what, like, how do porn stars live? You know, and you can just follow their social media and just see how they live. And you see how they live, and it's, like, they're on social media, and you learn, like, some porn stars have kids. And it's a weird thing, because I'd assume that a mother would stop doing porn when they have kids, but that's not necessarily the case. And the thing is, if I don't know how it would be for a woman / vagina haver, but for a man that, like, if you're a boy and like once penis havers, and you get to jerking off age, and your friends are also at jerking off age. And, you know, they're looking at porn, and they find porn of your mom, you can't live that fucking shit down. And it's awful. And, like, and then I'm at the confusing circumstance of, you have to be at the confusing circumstance of, like, trying to be, trying to be this woke person, like, sex work is real work. But also, it's like, I don't want videos of my mom getting plowed out on the internet. Like, your friends can watch that shit. It's like, hey man, jerked off to your mom last night. It's the yin yang of that situation where it's like your mom's making a good living. Like when it's like a stripper, it's like your friends can't go into a strip club. It's gonna be very hard. Like when you're 13, like your friends aren't getting into a strip club unless they have a beard at 13, which they probably won't. But with OnlyFans, like if they have like any sort of debit card, like any kind of form of that, they can get on OnlyFans. And like you follow someone on Instagram, like their photos are basically everyone wants to be a porn actress without doing the work. Like just you're a model. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I don't know what your mom actually does on OnlyFans. What do you do? Like, that's just the weird thing, because for me, if I was going to date someone who's a stripper or a porn star, you can't just be like, hey, I want you to quit your career for me because it makes me uncomfortable. Like, you can't do that. Like, if a woman came to me and was like, I want you to stop podcasting and I want you to stop being a songwriter, I'd be like, fuck you. You can't do that shit. Like, what situations would I suggest? I always want to go with like a good answer and a bad answer that would work, but I think you're going to have to go with bad answers. Your mom has what would I do if my mom had an OnlyFans? Let me put that there. My Christian mother, who I try to help, but doesn't listen, who does literally the opposite of what I say. What would I do? I would, maybe fat shamer? Maybe that would work? Do you think fat shaming would work? I think that may work. Maybe I'd say we got to do what Gen Z has taught us. You got to bully people. I think you need to bully your mom to get off OnlyFans. Like, I don't think there's another suggestion that would help. Obviously, I don't think your mom's probably that hot to begin with. There's some cows on OnlyFans. Let's be honest. And I'm saying that as like someone who on a good day identifies as a 7 out of 10. So like not trying to like body shame your mom or anything, but you know, the goal is to get her off OnlyFans. I'm not saying your mom's ugly. I'm just saying, but also you should give me your mom's number. I'm just saying you need to bully her off OnlyFans. That's the only way it's going to work. Maybe do it anonymously. That's probably going to be your best solution. Maybe anonymously cyberbully your mom on OnlyFans. That's all I would say. Our fourth question: what are your thoughts on alpha males? Okay, so wasn't there an actual study that, like, you know, the alpha wolf or whatever is not like an actual thing? So I guess the idea of being like an alpha male, this idea behind it is someone who thinks they're the leader of the wolf pack. But let's be honest, though. Any guy who says they're an alpha is not an alpha. Let's just say, I think if we're gonna pretend that the idea of being an alpha is a real thing, we're going by the fact of I choose it. What was it? I would think of it if we're going by the textual definition of it. I would say it would be something similar to Harry Potter, where you know, Harry never chose to be a leader. It was kind of thrust upon him, and he did it because he had to. That's what a real alpha is. Anyways, though, what are my actual thoughts on alpha males? Like, they don't exist. And guys who identify as alpha males are not comfortable with their dick size. That's a fact. No guy who is comfortable with the size of their penis claims to be an alpha male. That is 100%. And I can't imagine I'm wrong there. Like, you know, you see really ripped, and this is one thing, you know, you see guys with like really ugly faces, and they're super ripped because they're overcompensating for their ugly fucking face. I was blessed with a beautiful face and a gorgeous smile. But I am a little fat right now, so don't fat shame me in the comments. Anyone who fat shames me has that curse from the movie Holes. They have that curse, so you can't fat shame me. It's against the law. I put a spell on you, and now you're gone. But no, and there's like sigmas, betas. Like, I mean, betas. Someone who's like, I identify as a beta male. I'm like, all right, I believe you. Like, that shit I'll believe all day, every day. But it's like, I'm an alpha. I'm like, you have a tiny penis. I'm like, I mean, it's weird. Porn has made me like most, like, if you just look at like porn penises and you're like, oh, okay, I have a tiny penis compared to that. Everyone does. But if you like learn like average penis is like 5 to 6 inches, you're like, I'm fine. Most people are fine. It's just these guys with fucking hogs like destroying girls' uteruses. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about the anatomy of a woman. I know my own anatomy, and that's about. I can like tell you my own anatomy. I'm like, is it? About said colon. Anyways, though, yeah. So if you think you're an alpha male, you're a fucking beta. Do some guys date girls they are not attracted to? Okay. Here's the thing with some guys, and by some guys I mean me at one time in life. So, you know, it is weird. I think women do this too, and other vagina and penis havers. All of you vagina and penis havers out there. So, like, we all have kind of like one person we like fall back to, you know, like in life. They're like, I'm feeling kind of lonely. I'm going to get back together with this person for a while. If you've watched Friends, it's Janice Chandler. Is that what she said on that show? I haven't watched that show in a while, and I don't think I need to. Like, yeah, we have that one person we always like get back together with, even though like we 100% know we're not compatible with. We all have it. It's not okay, but, you know, we all got to work through shit. Like, that's life. We all got to work through shit. And so, a lot of times that girl, like, we're not necessarily attracted to. If you watch the show You, the season 1, Beck and Benji, I feel like Benji always went back to Beck. for that very reason. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't necessarily attracted to her, but he wasn't full ride or die. Like, 2 EPs I have out now, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer, wherever you stream your music at, it is over there for you to go ahead and download. So I feel like, it's a similar situation to that. I think sometimes guys are just fucking horny. And there's always that one girl who is like, not really attracted to you, but I'm kind of horny. So, like, you will do for now type of situation. I'm not saying any of this is right. I'm not a saint, people. We all know. I don't look a thing like Jesus, but I do talk like a gentleman, like you imagined when you were young, situations like that. But, so yes, guys will date girls they're not attracted to. For the most part, what I will say is we don't end up usually marrying the girl we're not attracted to. Usually we're either lonely, horny, or a little mix of both, What? We need a good word for, like, lonely and horny. Lorny? Hornly. Hornly is a good word. I think hornly is the best one. Hornly, when you're horny and lonely all at the same time. So you lower your standards. But anyways, I do want to say, though, if the person writing this, assuming it's a woman/vagina haver, wondering if guys date, well, yeah, I assume you're in the cis spectrum. Do guys date girls that are attracted to? We do. Mainly because of horniness. But I would say just hold out for someone who is actually attracted to you. He's out there. Just remember, you're a fetish to someone, ladies. Vagina havers. You're a fetish to someone. And I want to leave you with that heart-stopping fact about that. Do fat people struggle to have sex? Ugh. I don't know how to word this and not sound rude. Reality, I am just curious. I am fairly middle-sized, as well as my partner, and even though we don't exercise much, we do some, and more often than not, it comes to a point in sex where we have to change whatever we are doing and leave it to the other person because we are tired AF and just can't keep going. Now, every time I see a couple of 2 obese people who, from just watching them, you can see they get tired easily, I wonder how the fuck they do it. Because sometimes I be getting tired from 2 minutes on top. I really am not trying to be offensive or rude. I know it's not my business, and I would never ask it. Okay, yeah. So, you gotta think of it here. Like, so there's a Reddit thread, of, like, a fat couple who had to use, like, a pole and had to have people with them to help them have sex. So, yeah, it is possible for fat people to have sex. I know sometimes I watch an episode of My 600-Pound Life where, like, a guy was so fat, like, him and his wife were like, I knew when I started dating him there would be nothing sexual, but I loved him. And I also have a kid. And I guess the disability checks gets her. Okay. Like, we don't fucking know what's going on. But yeah, so yeah, no, they would have struggled to have sex as someone who used to be more obese than I currently am. What I can tell you is you got to think. I think of sex similar-ish to cardio. Like, it's different than masturbating, but it's a lot different. It's similar to a lot of cardio, And I'm like, if anything, if you're gonna work out, you got to do cardio to just keep up during sex. Unless you just come really fast, then you gotta jerk off a couple hours before. So you gotta think, though, when you're fat, like, doing cardio, there's a thing with cardio, like, I only know this because of music and the idea of music. There was like the 600-pound teen or something like that, and he was worried. He was like a really good singer, and he was worried that if he lost weight and got gastric bypass surgery, that, like, he was gonna lose his ability to sing. Which, as someone who's studied vocal music, I could say the voice will probably change, but it's not gonna, like, you're not gonna lose your ability to sing unless, like, there's a complication and somehow your vocal cords and your lungs your epiglottal and all that shit like somehow gets messed up, which is like not anything that even close to like a complication that could happen with like a gastric bypass surgery or like a sleeve surgery or whatever. So like yeah, your singing's gonna change, but the thing is, when you breathe and everything, like your breathing, requires your whole body or a majority of your body, and so with less weight, it's gonna be a little bit easier for you to sing. Let's think about that in the way of how sex works, and as you think, once you lose a ton of weight, sex can be a lot easier because you used to have to work out with like hundreds of pounds attached to you, but now that all that the 100 some pounds are gone, it'll be a lot easier for you to do that. Fat people find the way. Fat people will find a way. They pull poles. They have friends help them. They find a way. If horny people figure that shit out, when you need to come, you come. But you can't get so fat that you can't do anything, and that's when you start fat shaming people, folks. That's when you fat shame your friends, when your friends are so fat they can't come. They're like, I don't need to come anymore. I'll just keep eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's when you start fat shaming your friends. All right. So we on to our last question. Is it okay to shower a guy friend with affection, like hugs and kisses on the head? I often treat my female friends like my own children or small sisters, etc. Kiss their head and give them hugs and just treat them with affection. Is it okay to do that to a male friend, or am I putting out the wrong impression and make him uncomfortable? Okay. So here's the thing. Like, I guess the biology of the male and female brains, or the penis havers, the vagina havers of the cis variety. So, in the way, depending on the relationship, that's gonna be a big thing. The relationship can make or break this situation entirely. But if I'm a male friend and I have like women friends who I'm like, yeah, you're just a friend, and there's some who are like, are we trying to fuck? And if there's any area that area where it's like, maybe, are we gonna fuck? Maybe, is that a possibility? I would say that would make them uncomfortable, because at that point, when you like hug them and kiss them and stuff like that, they're gonna like get turned on. They're gonna be wondering like, are you wanting to fuck? Are you wanting to fuck, my friend? Because I am DTF. I am down to fuck. So like, you have to think about it that way with guys, and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily wrong what you're doing. I just feel like as a guy, especially if you have like a guy friend who's like been very lonely for a very long time, he's gonna have a lot of problems. Like, you do that to him and he's like, I think I'm in love with you, and stuff like that. And that's a bad time, because that's not like the vibe you're trying to get off. And I get it. Like, women don't think that way. And it's funny. It's like women are like, what turns my man on? I'm like, watch any porn. Like, that's what turns men on, is porn. And so if like you just recreate that scenario, and he's gonna be like full throttle in regards to like whatever the hell you're wanting to do. So you want to show him affection and show love and everything. It's just gonna be hard, because the guy could get horny from that, and it's a bad thing. It's funny because girls are like, I just want a guy who wants to like cuddle but like doesn't want to fuck. I'm like, look, you put your ass right next to a dude's dick, like his dick's gonna get hard, and when a guy's dick gets hard, the only solution, he has to come. So like, don't be turning guys on if you don't want to help him come. Like, I'm a big believer in like, just because a guy has boner and he's gonna get blue balls doesn't obligate a woman to like have to like have sex with him or give him blowy. But like, at the same time, like, women, don't try to give him hard on, don't give him a hard on. Like, try not. So yeah, you kind of have to, you're gonna have to take every guy to guy, but you also have to realize that guys don't get like affection like that ever. And so when he does get that like female attention, he's gonna get really turned on, because he's like, oh, I feel so good with this. Like, guys don't think that way, and that's why men don't get complimented, because if a woman complimented a guy, he'd be like, I'm gonna fuck tonight. So, yeah. Anyways, though, that's how we're ending today's episode of Cancer Schweezy. Thank you so much for checking out this episode, our literal best episode of Cancer Schweezy we have ever made. So thank you so much for being a part of that. Just so you know, this is the Lord's favorite podcast. The Lord's trademark favorite podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Follow me on social media at TheSchweezy. Check out my music as Schweezy. Go check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheSchweezy. If you have Amazon Prime, connect that through your Twitch account so I can get a sub, financially support me without spending any extra money that you aren't already spending. Go check out the Patreon page where you can financially support the show. And remember to, on YouTube, to subscribe, share our highlights, leave a comment, give us a like to the videos you like. And if you are on the audio-only platforms, make sure you leave a review and give us a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 star rating. So we're going to end the episode correctly. Honk if you love butt drugs, and yeah, stay awesome. Believe it or not, Schweg isn't at home. Please leave a message at the beep. I must be out or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Hey, you just finished a full episode of Cancel Schweezy. Thank you so much. Wherever you are listening or watching this show, make sure you smash that subscribe button that we can get notified anytime we release new episodes. And like I said before, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.